I'd like to give you a non-audiophilic review of the new Atom D3V studio speaker set for desktop. These may or may not be studio speakers, but they are definitely desktop speakers that will connect via USB-C directly into your Mac and stream music from Apple Music with no other required devices, no DACs, no amplifiers, no nothing. The D3V is powered and has absolutely excellent sound quality. It has a very intriguing, functionally good-looking, and more importantly, excellent sounding ribbon tweeter, a technology which you don't see at this price point in, I don't think, any other system. And it just represents tremendous value for money, but more importantly, excellent sound for listening to music while you're working at your desktop or working on your video productions. I have researched and tried and experimented with many different Bluetooth, including LDAC and aptX speaker systems, and they just don't cut the mustard. I've tried speaker systems from Bose, a Bose soundbar, Sony 5 speaker system, and a Harman Kardon bar with subwoofer wireless in the last 5 or 6 years. And I really haven't been happy with any of them until I got these new Atom Audio 3 D3V speakers. I did a needs assessment because I really didn't want to get involved with DACs and amplifiers to get streaming music. I didn't want to buy a separate streamer device. I have one. It's called a Mac Mini 4 or Mac Mini, whatever, with a M4 processing chip. So USB connection works perfectly. You switch the speakers over to the USB input. You adjust the volume, plug it into the back of the computer, make your settings to output to this Atom speakers, and they work. And it's absolutely stunning. The audio quality, people get bent out of shape over lossless, high-resolution audio. And my answer is more or less, I'm one of the 99% of the world that will never hear anything much better than CD quality 44 kilohertz 16-bit. These Atoms will, via USB, do 48 kilohertz via 16-bit. But if you use a DAC or amp, they will deliver slightly higher, but they'll never deliver 96 or 192 kilohertz. And frankly, I don't need it, and I don't think you do either. There are a couple things to say. It has a beautiful, excellent headphone output with volume control. So again, you don't need a headphone amplifier. You've got one built in. The digital signal processor has equalization adjustments for location, and there's 3 of them. They're very subtle, but they do seem to be effective, and I've tried them, made the changes, and they do work well. And then finally, one person has complained that they're not good computer speakers because they power off if there's no audio input signal after a period of time. And that's true. And I personally like that because I usually leave my computer on and walk away. It shuts itself down. I want to turn the speakers off as well. So this does it all. It's perfect. Finally, there's a lot of debate online about studio monitors versus studio speakers, or versus speakers. And I would prefer my desktop monitors to sound as close to the recorded and engineered sound that the artist wishes to deliver. And why wouldn't you use a studio speaker for that purpose? Anyway, the Atom D3V work wonderfully, and I'm very, very happy with them. And if you have any doubts, try them. They're just wonderful. This is a sample recording in MP3 at 320 kilobits per second. I'm going to compare the HomePod via Bluetooth, the iMac Studio Display speakers, and the Atom DV3. Test recording number 1 is the Atom DV3. Next we have the studio display speakers. Finally, we're going to go to the HomePod speaker. I didn't think you needed to hear more of the HomePod to determine that it was the worst quality via Bluetooth streaming. The studio speakers were not that bad, but basically they point out sideways so you don't get any sound coming toward you. And having the Atom Audio D3Vs pointing at you as you listen really changes the three-dimensionality of the music. You can hear things moving around in place, especially if you're listening to classical music, if it's a well-recorded, well-engineered production. Things like the soft tones of Billie Eilish's voice show up on the Atom Audio that just are lost on any kind of Bluetooth speaker system. So I'm very happy with it. I'm recommending it, and I hope you'll give it a try.